Y'all, this story is just another example of why we have got to talk to children about the dangers of gun violence and playing with weapons. An 18-year-old has been arrested and charged with reckless homicide after a deadly shooting of a 16-year-old this past Tuesday. This was in Indianapolis. Witnesses claim that the shooting was accidental. According to reports, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department responded to reports of the shooting at around 3 p.m. last Tuesday. This is 18-year-old Jakari Bibbs, and he was arrested on Thursday for reckless homicide. That's because he pointed a weapon at and shot Nathaniel Labissiere. I hope I pronounced that last name correctly. I tried my best. Reportedly, Nathaniel was a student at Ben Davis High School. Jakari shot Nathaniel at a home on Braemar Drive. When authorities went to the home, they entered it, and when they entered, they saw two girls and Jakari. It was said that the two girls lived there, and Jakari was dating one of the girls. And again, this is Jakari who shot the gun. All three of them were taken to the police station for questioning, and one of the girls told detectives that Jakari was her boyfriend. And she said that he and his two friends, one she said was Nate and one was named DW, they were visiting the home, and she used her phone to take pictures of the males with the gun inside her home in the bedroom, her bedroom. Reportedly, the gun was a black pistol. She said she turned to fold something like a blanket or a piece of clothing, and Jakari handed the gun either to Nate or DW, and then she heard a gunshot. And I'm going to tell you each of their versions of the events that led to the shooting. She said after she heard the gunshot, one of the males, which ended up being Nate, fell to the ground at the corner of her bed on the floor, and he was bleeding heavily. She said she didn't see who shot and that DW left the house after the shooting. Now, detectives then interviewed Jakari, and Jakari told them that he knew Nathaniel's real name, but not DW's. He also said that the gun belonged to the DW kid. Furthermore, Jakari told authorities that they removed the magazine from the gun and turned the magazine around and reinserted it, so it made it look like it had an extended magazine. The gun did. It made it look like that. He then stated that the bullets in the magazine looked small. He said he asked DW if there was a round in the chamber. He then said that they were indeed inside his girlfriend's room taking pics when he passed the gun to one of the guys, and as he was looking down, he heard a gunshot and saw that Nate had been shot. Now, during all of this, investigators found out that the DW kid had been reported as a missing person since June of 2021. He has not yet been formally identified, but he was questioned and interviewed by investigators. I'm not sure how that went with the whole missing person incident. I'm not sure. I just read that. Now, DW said that he, Nate, and Jakari had been given a ride by one of the girls' grandfather to the home, and he said he brought his gun, which he said was a Glock 44 22 cal. And by the way, this is a picture of Nate when he was younger, bless his heart. DW then said that before being picked up from Nate's apartment, that Jakari got the gun from him and he carried it in his waistband to his girlfriend's residence, Jakari's girlfriend's residence. He said after they played with the gun a bit in the garage, they then went in the bedroom. DW also told the police that at one time Jakari pointed the gun at him. He told him to stop, but then Jakari did the same thing to Nathaniel. He then said that Nathaniel reached out and grabbed the barrel of the gun and told Jakari not to point the gun at him. But as that happened, the gun reportedly fired. He then stated that Nate grabbed his throat like he couldn't breathe, and he fell to the floor and couldn't get up. DW then allegedly took the gun from the floor, and it was next to Nate, and he left. He then went home and told his mom what happened, and she allegedly placed his gun in her purse. Now, Jakari was picked up by authorities on Thursday, and he agreed to do another interview at the homicide office. And this too is another picture of Nathaniel when he was younger. So it was at that other interview that Jakari finally admitted he pointed the gun at Nathaniel, and he did pull the trigger. He admitted that. He then stated that he was shocked that the gun fired because he thought he had unloaded it. He said that Nate then grabbed the area of his throat where he was shot, and then he fell to the floor. This is heartbreaking. He said he then tried to put pressure on Nate's wound like the 911 dispatcher told him, but unfortunately that didn't work. Jakari is currently in the Marion County Jail. This is absolutely heartbreaking. I did read where Nathaniel's mom did an interview with a local news outlet. She just wants answers and justice, and really she wants her son back. She does not want any other parent to go through something like this. Guys, speak to your children about weapons and the dangers of using them and playing with them. They're not toys. Speak to them about never pointing a gun at somebody. It's so important to talk to your kids, guys. My heart and prayers go out to all who knew Nathaniel and loved him, especially his heartbroken mom. If you want more true crime, be sure to visit www.truecrimewithmegan.com.